Welcome back to Real Talk with the Lugos. In this video, we're going to talk about how new build communities are responding to the seller market conditions that are moving really fast in the greater Phoenix area. So stay tuned for how this might impact you if you're considering new construction for your next home.
And if we haven't met yet, I'm Bryce.
And I'm Stephanie, and we are real estate agents with My Home Group Real Estate located right here in Scottsdale, Arizona. And we are obsessed with helping you navigate a successful home purchase or home sale in the greater Phoenix area. If you're into that kind of thing, be sure to hit subscribe to this channel and hit that bell notification icon to be notified every time we're dropping new videos just like this. Okay, Bryce, so from our last video, we did a quick market update, and surprise, surprise, the Valley is still experiencing an extreme lack of supply, a lack of supply of homes. And so I know that you and I are both hearing a lot from our clients that they're kind of exploring the ideas of new construction.
Yep, new builds.
Yeah, new builds. So I figured it would be a good time to give some updates on what we're seeing from new build communities and how they're actually kind of making it more difficult for buyers who are wanting to go down that route.
It's not the easiest route like it could have been before.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. And I have a couple of specific items that I want to cover.
Yeah.
So the first one, I want to talk about location.
Okay.
So this is something that we're experiencing a lot too when we have clients who are relocating out here. We work with quite a few relocation buyers, mostly because so many people are moving to Phoenix anyway. Yep. But when they come, they may not really know the lay of the land. And I think it's helpful to understand where the new build communities are now and where they're shifting to. So right now we're seeing how the Valley is on a map, right?
It's spread very wide.
Super wide. I'm just curious, how long would it take you to drive from far north Valley, Northwest Valley, down to as far southeast as you could go, corner to corner?
I don't know. It'd be over an hour. It's the same MLS, same homes we're looking at, and it's probably an hour and a half from North Peoria to Queen Creek. I don't know. That's why it's nice to be centrally located for us.
Exactly.
Yeah,
we're in downtown Phoenix. Right now, especially we're recording in downtown Phoenix, close to the airport, close to all the things that happen. If you want new builds, they're on the outskirts.
Generally. There are some that are not quite outskirts, but those come with quite a price premium just on the actual home themselves. But yes, most of the new builds, where's their land? Land is on the outside right now.
Yeah, and it's funny because Phoenix is just going to continue to growing outwards that way, so it makes sense. So I think it's helpful to understand that these communities are going out there and they're going ever farther. So we're talking far northwest Peoria, North Scottsdale, and then tons of new build communities happening out in the southeast Valley, south of Chandler, Santan, Queen Creek.
Yeah.
So obviously it's a big spread out community. So if you're headed this way, or if you are considering new construction for a home purchase, you might not even have access to these communities because of how quickly they're building up. New permits are at record-breaking draws for how quickly they're building these communities. So always feel free to book a time to chat with us. You can just book a no pressure call below. We'll kind of talk about the different areas, what you can expect at these different areas, and what new communities are coming up.
Just to add on that real quick, all these outskirt, Queen Creek, North Peoria, these places are beautiful.
So nice.
They've got everything that you would, I think, need. From the restaurants to the shopping to whatever it is. So it's not like being on the outskirts is a bad thing.
It's a good point.
Yeah, these communities are brand new builds, beautiful homes, lots of fun, lots of stuff to do. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah, and actually we have a video coming up soon where we're going to break down these different parts of the Valley and kind of all that you can expect from depending on where you want to go. So definitely hit subscribe to this channel if you haven't yet so that you can stay in the loop when we're dishing on those details. So with these new communities, we're seeing one really big change, which is how buyers are actually getting the opportunity to secure the lots. Can you share with us a little bit about what we're seeing there?
Yeah, so one of the biggest things, at least, not all builders are doing this, but many are, is a lottery system. So you'll see a builder have 5 new lots get released, this week. And if you want to be able to buy in that community, you have to put your name on a list, and it gets lotteried out like a random. Just here you go, you've won or you haven't. We're seeing 5 lots, but maybe 200 plus applicants into the lottery. So the odds are slim to none. And then some of these builders, something to keep in mind is you might win a lot, but only certain homes that they're building, like they might have 7 different models, right? But only certain homes can be built on certain lots inside those communities. So even if you win, you're handcuffed to 1 or 2 different style of homes for that lot. We had that happen with a client already a couple months ago. So, and it has been this way for a little bit. It's just getting worse because there's so many buyers out there and they can't build that quickly. So when they do release, buyers are wanting that opportunity, and so they're entering into the lottery. And odds are very, very slim. And then, but additionally, what they're doing is like they've always had lot premiums, right? For like a beautiful larger corner lot, but now it's just lot premiums on everything. And how much more will you pay to have that lot if they're not doing the lottery? How much more will you pay for that lot than the next buyer? So it's kind of like cash out of pocket above an appraisal, but it's from the beginning, like, okay, so you want this 6,000 square foot lot, and you're going to pay, maybe 40, 50. We're literally seeing 40, 50, 60,000 for the lot premium just to have it and beat out the competition. And you have to be able to pay that. Yeah. Like, that's cash.
So to me, that underscores the necessity to start soon, right? Because do you remember the days when you could just walk into the model, choose your lot out of the 100 available spaces, and have this beautiful, long, leisurely build process? And now it's long. It's not leisurely. It's going to take you a long time, even just to get your foot in the door.
Right. And then just to make it a little bit more complicated is if you have a home to sell, they're not really looking at contingent offers. So you're going to need to sell that home or be able to buy without selling, be non-contingent, but sell that home and maybe get a really long lease back, because these new builds don't, they take a while too.
Yeah.
So it's just very difficult unless you are no strings buyer coming in, lots of cash,
ready to go,
or back on location, or you're just even further out.
Yeah.
Distance wise.
Okay, so recapping, location is going to be a factor. We want to be aware of that.
Yep.
We're seeing the lottery systems. We're seeing lots of lot premiums.
Yep.
The other thing that we're seeing is an already lengthy build process getting hampered even more. So we're seeing typical build times that are slower due to demand and good old Rona.
Yeah, COVID slowed things down quite a bit.
Yep.
Which also made it more difficult in the market just starting last year. So it's been an ongoing, it's had an ongoing effect on the new build communities this whole time. It's slowing down builds, taking longer.
So there's a couple of things that's actually creating, right? So there are manpower, there's the effect to the manpower, right? So if people are getting sick or whatever, the actual crews have to shut down for a time. So that's one thing. But then you don't think of the supply chain impact from something like a pandemic, or even some of the really huge storms. We've also experienced a lot of really crazy weather in the last year, which is impacting logistically, how we're getting lumber or how we're getting building materials. So I think it's important as a consumer to understand how these current events actually impact something as simple as just being able to buy a home. But those are all factors that I know that we're talking about a lot, that we're seeing just in terms of that lengthier process and getting into a new build. So that is enough for the cons list, I would say. Let's talk about some pros and ways that we're helping our clients get an edge above those issues.
So over several years of selling real estate, we've sold quite a few new builds, and we've built some relationships with some new build reps, right? So having those being able to network, right, with other new build reps and try to get some advantage. Sometimes it doesn't work, but just trying to get the information ahead of time rather than just rolling into the new build lot, but just networking with these guys that we've worked with in the past, and maybe hearing about something that's coming up or lots that might be falling out. That happens. So just networking really is the biggest thing that's probably the biggest thing you can focus on.
Yeah, because that is something that's within our control at the very least.
Yep.
So just making sure that we're like staying connected and keeping a pulse on any opportunities that might come up. I would say the other thing is really, with there's so much new construction happening. And so I think the other thing really is taking the time with our buyers to guide them on which communities are best. Because the last thing you want to be doing is trying to be doing your research when you're under the gun and you have to make a decision. Like our goal, and maybe you agree with this, I think that you do, is to get our buyers to a place of absolute confidence and clarity on where they want to be, which communities are right for them. So the moment that opportunity does come up, they're like, yep, let's go. And it's a really exciting process because it's an opportunity, not an obstacle that they have to like try to overcome and do their research on. So then along that same vein, I think the third thing that we're doing really well, that we're seeing a lot of success with, is helping our buyers put a plan in place and starting early. So we're like doing some things specifically with them to help them be prepared.
Yeah, prepared is exactly what I was gonna say right there, is they need to be prepared, whether it's financing, and a lot of the new build, communities are gonna have financing available, but it's still important for our clients to have their own financing, at least become qualified, have that option, make sure that they're ready to purchase, no contingencies on these purchases. So coming up with a plan if they have to sell their home, if they want to buy a new build, which we're working on with another client actually right now. So just making sure that they're fully prepared and ready to go when the opportunity strikes.
Yeah, I think that so often we get feedback when we're kind of asking our clients how they feel about the process, and if they're excited for it. A lot of times they always say like, well, the speed of the market scares me and the unknowns scare me. And so if we can remove those and help give that clarity, then that's going to make everybody a lot more successful in this complex process.
Yeah.
So if you're considering new construction for your next home, let's chat. You can book a time with us below. All the links are there. We'll hop on a call and just discuss your unique situation and see if this is the right move for you for your next home purchase. Really hope that you found this helpful. And if you did, please be sure to hit subscribe to this channel and hit that bell notification icon to be notified every time we're dropping new videos like this. And in fact, the next one, we're breaking down different parts of the valley so that you have a better understanding of where the communities are and what they're all about in the greater Phoenix area. So stay tuned for that.
Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.